Exam Prep 2022. Team Test brings you a video podcast on Unit 6 English in India. Today with me is Reshma Rajan. Hello, Reshma.
Hello, ma'am.
Let us begin with a short area English in India beginnings.
Who of the following are English Orientalists who criticized Macaulay's condemnation of Indian culture?
H. Wilson and W.H. Macnaghten?
James Rennell and B.G. Honeyman?
None of them. Guys, the answer is
H. Wilson and W.H. Macnaghten.
Guys, shall I tell you a few things about these Orientalists? H. Wilson was a famous professor of Sanskrit at Oxford University at that time. And he has translated Kalidasa's Meghadutam. He wrote a Sanskrit-English dictionary. And he was interested in Ayurveda, Hinduism, etc. Macnaghten was in the Bengal civil service. He also had a talent for languages, and he wrote some treatises on Hinduism and Islamic law. They were both Orientalists who criticized Macaulay's racist treatment of India and Indian culture. Now, question number 2.
In 1823, Raja Ram Mohan Roy wrote a letter to Dash to provide education to the Indians on mathematics, natural science, chemistry, osteology, Western philosophy, etc. Lord Amherst, Lord Bentinck, Lord Ripon.
Guys, Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a pioneer of Renaissance in India. And he was a very important figure in educational reform also. He introduced many progressive ideas based on his knowledge of Eastern and Western cultures. Now, there is a background to this letter that we are talking about. In 1821, H. Wilson, you already know him, we talked about him in the first question. He was a great Orientalist and a professor of Sanskrit at Oxford. So, what did H. Wilson want to do? He wanted to establish a Sanskrit college in Calcutta. Raja Ram Mohan Roy opposed this. He said no Sanskrit college because he believed that Sanskrit system of education would keep the country in darkness. This letter raised a violent controversy that Raja Ram Mohan Roy wrote because he wanted Indians to be provided education in mathematics, natural science, chemistry, etc. Well, both English and Ram Mohan Roy wanted to educate Indians. You would think, why would there be a controversy? Because their objectives were totally different. The British wanted to impose colonial bondage on India through education, while Ram Mohan Roy accepted English education because he wanted to modernize India. So, this letter that we are talking about, written in 1823, actually 11th December 1823, was very important. Here he advocated that scientific education is needed for progress in India. We can say that Macaulay's Minute of 1835 that came 2 years later was a result of the indirect influence of this letter. So, Reshma, to whom was this letter addressed?
Answer is Lord Amherst.
Now the next question, Reshma.
On education commissions. Guys, which of these education commissions recommended the Common School System (CSS)? Kothari Commission, Radhakrishnan Commission, Mudaliar Commission.
And the answer is
Kothari Commission.
Oh, now we come to Indian English literature, the very beginnings.
Question. The Inquirer is an English weekly started in 1831 by Dash with the help of Henry Derozio. Is it Krishna Mohan Banerjee or Lal Behari Day or the students of Hindu College?
I think it will be the students of Hindu College. Let us check out the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
It is Krishna Mohan Banerjee.
Have you heard of Krishna Mohan Banerjee, guys? Shall I tell you about him? He was an educationist and linguist. He was interested in rethinking Hinduism, like Reformation, rethinking Hinduism, and he explored the relationship between Christianity and Hinduism. He not only explored, he even converted to Christianity. Krishna Mohan Banerjee was a major member of Derozio's Young Bengal group. Young Bengal group was a group of freethinkers from Hindu College, Kolkata, where Derozio was a teacher. And they were called Derosians. Krishna Mohan Banerjee has written a play called The Persecuted. And you won't believe this, guys. He adapted Encyclopedia Britannica into Bengali in 13 volumes. Wow, did you know that, Reshma? Okay, now another question on Indian English literature beginnings.
Who of the following worked with sonnets and blank verse, thus modernizing IWE?
IWE is Indian Writing in English.
Sarojini Naidu, Michael Madhusudan Dutt, or Bankim Chandra Chatterjee?
Sonnets and blank verse. It must be Sarojini Naidu.
Let's see.
Aha.
Oh no, it is Michael Madhusudan Dutt.
Oh, Michael Madhusudan Dutt, of course. He was a very major pioneer of Bengali drama, and he was also a poet. And he was associated with Hindu College, Kolkata. He was born in a Hindu family, but he desired to be an Englishman in culture and manners, and he converted to Christianity. He traveled to England, became a barrister, wrote many sonnets and blank verse epics reflecting European influence. Which are his famous plays? Do you know, Reshma? Sharmishtha, the famous epic Meghna, the Badhukavya, Tilottama. He also adapted Homer's Iliad. So what's next now? Aha! We are given two statements regarding nativization of English language.
Let's see the two statements. English language had empowered oppressed social groups in India.
Is it true?
English has had a profound effect on the nature of multilingualism in India.
You can read that carefully.
True or false? Let's see. Both are true.
Reshma got excited because both are true. English language had empowered oppressed social groups in India. Oppressed social groups in India began to learn English, speak English. This was a way of overcoming oppression within India. English also had a profound effect on the nature of multilingualism in India. The relationship of English with the other languages in India, the politics, was very important in defining the nature of multilingualism in India. Let us move on. The next short area is Indian English language. Remember, you can expect questions on not only literature but language also.
Guys, which of the following is not a variety of English in India? Is it bearer English? Is it kitchen English? Or is it clerical English? The answer is clerical English.
Clerical English is not a variety of English in India. Bearer English or butler English or kitchen English, they're all the same. It is an occupational dialect related to an occupation that developed in Madras Presidency, that is in Chennai region, in British India. There is nothing called clerical English, I just made it up.
Next, let's see Teaching English Literature in India. Question. In her essay, The Burden of English, Gayatri Spivak advocates teaching Indian language texts in translation.
Does she advocate Indian texts in translation?
Teaching Indian language texts along with English texts.
Oh, both together.
Teaching English texts in Indian languages.
That means teaching English in Hindi, Punjabi, Tamil, etc.
The answer is teaching Indian language texts along with English texts. Did you know that?
So, Gayatri Spivak advocated that we should teach not only English texts, along with that, we should teach Indian language texts also. English texts plus Hindi texts. Publishing in India is also a very important area. Okay, over to you, Reshma.
Let's see the question on publishing in India. The first printing press in India was set up in Dash by Dash. In Delhi in 1786, in Madras in 1626, or in Goa in 1556. And the correct answer is in Goa in 1556.
Guys, the first printing press in India was established at St. Paul's College in Old Goa. It is a Jesuit college and it is St. Francis of Assisi's book that was printed there. And it was in 1556. Woman, he said fiercely, deceive me not. Canst thou? Thou little knowest how I have watched thee, how from the earliest day that thy beauty became thy curse.
Who speaks these lines in Raj Mohan's wife? Is it Raj Mohan? Or is it Madhav Ghose? Or is it Madhur Ghose?
This is a question from pre-independence Indian English literature. What is the answer?
The answer is Raj Mohan.
Raj Mohan is a very brutish, immoral man who oppresses his wife Matangini. Matangini, however, is a very creative and strong character.
Now let's see another question on pre-independence Indian English literature. Which of the following is not an aspect of Tagore's novel Gora? Debates between Hinduism and Brahmanism, debates between Hinduism and Brahmoism, the Indian Rebellion of 1857, or the Indigo Farmers' Uprisings. And the correct answer is all these are true. All these are the aspects of Tagore's novel Gora. Ma'am, can you explain?
Oh, sure, Reshma. Tagore's Gora is set during the British Raj in the 19th century. Gaur Mohan or Gora is the protagonist. He is the son of two Indians and he's very fair. And he's a little intolerant towards non-Hindus. But later on, he understands that he's actually the son of an Irish woman. And then he learns tolerance. That is the story. And it is set during momentous upheavals in Indian society. Another question on pre-independence Indian English literature.
In his 1893 speech at Chicago, which of these aspects of Hinduism did Swami Vivekananda highlight? It teaches tolerance and unity. It upholds peace against violence. It advocates brotherhood.
And the correct answer is?
It teaches tolerance and unity.
In Vivekananda's Chicago speech, there is a famous line, probably you've heard it. I'm proud to belong to a religion which has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance. Now, literature during the independence. I hope you're enjoying, guys. Reshma.
Question. The novel Waiting for the Mahatma is set against Jallianwala Bagh Massacre, Quit India Movement, or Dandi March. And the correct answer is Quit India Movement.
Do you know the story of the 1955 novel Waiting for the Mahatma? Sri Ram is attracted to Bharati. And Bharati is very active in Quit India movement of Mahatma Gandhi. Inspired by Bharati, Sri Ram also becomes an activist and gets involved in anti-British revolts. This causes a lot of grief to his grandmother. Now, literature during the independence.
Question: which of these is wrongly matched? Why I Am an Atheist is by Bhagat Singh. Do you think M.K. Gandhi wrote Annihilation of Caste? Or Lala Lajpat Roy wrote Unhappy India?
Which of these is wrong? The answer is what you know already. It is?
Yes, it is Annihilation of Caste by M.K. Gandhi.
That is wrong. Annihilation of Caste is by B.R. Ambedkar. Let me explain. Annihilation of Caste was a speech that Ambedkar wrote. That was in 1936. Actually, he never delivered this speech. The speech was very controversial, and Ambedkar was not allowed to deliver it. That is what had happened. And then he later self-published the work. And here he raised many controversial ideas against orthodox Hinduism. He did not want to change anything in that text after the controversy started. He criticized the caste system and the religious texts of Hinduism. He argued that intercaste marriage is not sufficient to annihilate the caste system. He wanted to strike at the very roots of Hinduism. And Mahatma Gandhi also wrote articles in response to Ambedkar's writings, and this gave rise to a lot of debates.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, let's see a question on post-independence poetry. Which of these is not a poem by Jayanta Mahapatra? Is it Days in New York? Is it a summer poem? Or is it a Rain of Rights? And the correct answer is Days in New York. Ma'am, who wrote Days in New York?
It is Shiv K. Kumar.
Now again from post-independence poetry. A.K. Ramanujan's On the Death of a Poem uses the imagery of dash. Is it traffic?
Accidents, maybe.
Yeah. Is it religious rites? Or is it court?
Reshma, I don't know. Maybe our friends know. What is the answer?
Let's see the answer. The correct answer is court.
You know, the poet is trying to write a poem and he is disgruntled. He is unhappy because the poem is not born properly, and he is referring to the death of a poem as a sentence passed by the jury. It is like the poem is executed. It is a very beautiful poem that shows the poet's disappointment and depression.
Next, on post-independence drama. Which character in Mahesh Dattani's plays adopts a Western name, Dan? Chandan in Tara? Or is it Kamalesh On a Muggy Night in Mumbai? Or is it Vishwas in Dance Like a Man? The correct answer is, it is Chandan in Tara.
You might know what happens in Mahesh Dattani's Tara. Two conjoined twins are separated by surgery, and the family prefers the male twin to survive and have a normal life. The female twin Tara is severely disadvantaged, and finally she's no more. Chandan goes abroad, becomes Dan, and when he realizes what happened to his twin, he's full of remorse and guilt.
Which of the following is a dance drama? Is it Sita's Promise?
By Uma Parameswaran.
Or is it Dance Like a Man?
By Mahesh Dattani.
Or is it Bravely Fought the Queen?
Again by Mahesh Dattani.
The answer is Sita's Promise. Ma'am, can you please explain what is dance drama?
Yeah. Dance drama is a drama where action is expressed through dance. Many feminists and women writers especially have used dance drama, such as Carol Churchill.
Next question.
From post-independence fiction.
Clear Light of Day is set primarily in New Delhi, Old Delhi, or Kolkata? The answer is Old Delhi.
Clear Light of Day is the story of the Das family, Bimla, Raja, Thara, and also Baba. Bimla and Baba, the autistic boy, they live in Old Delhi. And Tara and his family, they are coming to meet her. And they are going to Raja's daughter's wedding.
Next question on post-independence fiction.
Again.
Which of these did not receive Sahitya Academy Award?
Ta-dang!
Is it Raman and Eddie by Kiran Nagarkar? Or is it A New World by Amit Chaudhary? Or is it The Memories of the Welfare State by Upamanyu Chatterjee? The correct answer is Ravan and Eddie by Kiran Nagarkar.
It is Cuckold by Kiran Nagarkar that won the Sahitya Academy Award. Writers of Indian diaspora.
Chumba Lahiri writes in English and French languages? Or is it English and Bengali? Or is it English and Italian? And do you want to know the answer? It is English and Italian.
This is interesting. Jhumpa Lahiri was a very famous writer in English. When she decided to give up English and write in Italian, she said that when it is a foreign language, she will have the freedom to be imperfect. She and her family even moved to Rome so that she can study Italian. And now she's in a linguistic exile and she has been writing very major works in Italian.
Ma'am, what is that book she wrote about writing in Italian language?
Maybe you mean the book In Other Words. There is also an interesting essay, Teach Yourself Italian. And now, Indian feminism. I hope you're still enjoying this video podcast.
Question. Which of these is wrongly matched? Stree Purush Tulna by Tarabai Shinde, Towards Equality by Veena Mazumdar, or Women in Indian Society by Savitribai Phule?
Which of these is wrong?
And the answer is Women in Indian Society by Savitribai Phule.
That is not a work by Savitribai Phule. And Reshma, we have the last question for our friends now.
On Dalit literature. Do you know who wrote Coming Out as Dalit?
It is the autobiography of
Yashika Dutt, Meena Kandasamy, or Anida Bharti. And shall I tell you the answer? It is Yashika Dutt.
Yashika Dutt is a brilliant journalist, and her autobiography, Coming Out as Dalit, was published by Aleph Book Company. Ta-dang! That is the end of today's Exam Prep 2022. I hope you're studying well. Look out for the next episode on Culture Studies. Until then, bye-bye from Kalyani and
Reshma!
bye from Team Tess.